There we go.
Oh, hang on. Sorry, one sec.
Oh.
Brian doesn't have Audacity pulled up yet.
No, I did. I have it pulled up, and I think I realized why my audio was so crappy last week was because it was going through my computer instead of my mic.
Oh.
All right. Okay, now I'm recording.
You're listening to the Station 71 podcast. My name is Mario, and this week I'm joined by my co-hosts,
Beth
and Brian.
So we are recording this on Thursday, March 11th. April 11th. Wow, I'm stuck a month behind. And Disney just announced some big news for their streaming service. So I think this week's going to be a little unconventional in terms of the fact that we're not going to be focusing a lot on the parks. But we'll see where this goes. But before we dive into that, let's dive into some other news topics that we've got going on in our news topics this week. First up is that the tickets for the 2019 Very Merry Christmas Party have gone on sale. I would say this is weird, but I feel like we got Not So Scary tickets a lot sooner than I expected, so I'm not surprised about this. Party's going to run from November 8th to December 22nd, and I believe that's right. Yeah. Wow, I should have read this first. And tickets are going to run from $99 to $139 this year.
I feel like this feels a lot earlier than the Not So Scary announcement. I don't know, maybe because Christmas feels way, way later. I just can't believe it's April and people are already planning their very merry trip.
Yeah, seems way too early for this.
Although, I've been on forums and like subreddits and stuff where people are talking about, oh, I got my next trip planned in 2.5 years, and I'm like, oh my god,
I would go crazy.
Yeah, I
don't even want to plan it. Yeah.
I
don't know what I'm gonna be doing in 2.5 years. But yeah, this is crazy to me.
It's bizarre. What's bizarre about this is like you said, it feels so far in advance, but like, I don't know. November's not as far away as I want it to be. But still, I think they're doing this just because they're starting to roll out a lot of ticketed events. Like we kind of talked about that with the Villains one in the interim of like Not So Scary and Summer. And I think they're just trying to fill them up as much as they can. So selling out as many days as possible is probably best to put them up in advance. I don't know. Feels super weird.
Did you see the part? I don't know if we have talked about this. I can't remember that there's apparently a new fireworks show for it.
No, we did not. We definitely didn't talk about that.
Yeah, it's very casually mentioned at the top of the article, like it will include an all new fireworks special or whatever.
That's cool.
But I'm interested to see if they'll announce more, because I feel like they've been announcing more stuff for Not So Scary already, and that Very Merry has to like step it up to compete.
Here's the big question. Do they bring back fan favorite Text Me Merry Christmas?
Oh my god, please. No, that would be such an improvement if they got rid of that show.
Never gonna let that die, are you?
The whole show needs to just go. Honestly, don't even have a stage show, and I think that would be an improvement.
Oh goodness.
Well, so kind of going back to that, I heard a rumbling of a rumor that like they were trying to completely phase out the Wishes idea. Like Hallowishes shouldn't be called Hallowishes anymore since Wishes isn't around, and whatever the Very Merry Christmas one had Wishes in it too, didn't it?
Yeah, it was Christmas Wishes, right? Isn't that what they called it?
It was something like that. It had to be, but they were trying to get rid of that name because Wishes has been gone, like almost 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Has it only been 2 years?
Well, it was
Feels like
around
Wishes has been gone forever. Maybe I just miss it.
it probably. It's been less than 2 years because we started the podcast probably about a year and a half ago, and it was definitely still going on around then.
Oh
So
yeah. It's called Holiday Wishes.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So
I
it was
just looked
something
it up.
Wishes.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you want to purchase your Very Merry tickets, you can do so now. Start planning your Christmas trips. I'm going to jump ahead because I feel like we're going to talk a little bit about the Disney Plus stuff for a while. So this also happened today. Winter Park Police Department tweeted a photo of an on-ride picture at Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin and tweeted it out saying, "Hey friends in Diz Twitter, we need your help identifying this man. A residential burglary occurred and the suspect was captured using a magic band that was stolen during this time. These guys are definitely not galactic heroes," with the facepalm emoji. Um, and they probably should have used that facepalm emoji to realize that Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin is not the most accurate of PhotoPass locations, because just a few hours later they replied with a tweet that they were deleting their previous tweet, and it has come to light that persons shown in the prior post are not associated with the burglary.
That dude had one really, really interesting day.
Man. Poor guy. I don't understand the logic. Obviously, like you said, the PhotoPass for Buzz is terrible. I have just as many pictures of people I don't know as I do of myself on that ride. But it's just like, I don't know. Like, why would they steal a magic band? And didn't they just do something where, like, if you don't scan at the front of the park, then you can't use the rest of it?
Yeah, that's the thing. How do you even use a magic band if it's not tied to your fingerprint and your information?
I'm going to stop you right there because this last trip, they were not accepting fingerprint scans at most of the parks.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if it was because it was like a peak crowded day, but there were a few times we were going into a park and it happened especially during the mornings, and then like later at nights if we were going to the park that had extra magic hours, when we went to go touch our bands to the point, it would just accept it and they would scoot us through. They wouldn't even take the fingerprints. And I know it happened more often at Animal Kingdom, I think, than most other parks, but still. Very odd turn of events there.
Yeah, unless this person was a pass holder or just happened to have tickets, like, how did he, like, why would you steal a magic band? It just doesn't make sense to me.
That's the other thing too. Like, somebody did break into these people's house and steal a magic band. Like, we know that. It seems like a very odd thing to go to jail for.
Yeah, for sure. It's like all you can do. I mean, honestly, I guess it's not that dumb because, like, I have like 15 magic bands and only use like 2 of them. Most of them are for display. So I guess maybe the burglar was like, "Oh man, I didn't get this magic band when it was a limited edition on sale in the park."
Maybe. Yeah, he's just a collector.
Yeah, who knows?
Or like, you never really know what the person's thinking, because I don't know if I told you guys this, but at one point I saw a Facebook listing for, like, when Facebook Marketplace was a huge thing that Facebook was trying to push, for a gray magic band, and it was like $30 and it said limited edition in park exclusive magic band. And I really wanted to just like message the person and be like, "Can you let me know if someone buys this?" But like, you never know if they're like trying to just get one over on someone.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Can you, when you buy magic bands, do they automatically link to your account now? Because you remember when they first came out, you had the choice of link it now or link it later. Do they automatically link it when you buy it now, or does it not come linked and you have to link it yourself? I think that's how it works, right?
Link it yourself. The last one that I had to get, think what? Well, I don't know. This might have been a long time ago, and they might have changed it. But I do remember that it got it, and it just had the code that you have to type in on the My Disney Experience and link it yourself. I don't know if they've changed that or what.
I don't know. The last one that I actually like physically bought, aside from the ones they ship you, was 2 years ago, and I never linked it to My Disney Experience. So I don't know. I would assume it's probably link it later because that's how they used to do it.
Yeah, they probably got tired of like it taking too much time when people decided, "Oh, I want you to link it for me."
So, last thing we have to talk about is this massive Disney Plus announcement. Just ending a few hours ago was the big, I guess, was it shareholders meeting, wasn't it?
Company Investor Day.
Yeah, so they put out a lot of information about Disney Plus today, and it's a lot. It is a lot to take in. So I guess we should start with the fact that they are keeping all three of their streaming services, Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu, separate. But you can bundle all three at a discounted price now, so that'll be interesting for people that want to keep all of those services. I don't know if that applies to anyone here.
I'm just gonna say ESPN Plus sucks, so I don't. Yeah. I think they're trying to wrap it up in there because nobody's gonna buy it on its own.
Yeah, I don't care about sports, but I'll definitely bundle it with Hulu because I already have Hulu.
Yeah. We also knew going into this that we were going to get a lot of the animated movies. I think the last announcement that we got was that all of the Disney Vault was going to be a part of the Disney Plus service. And they went through a lot of that today. So I think from the way that I interpreted this, it's going to be like in phases. There's going to be a couple classics that are going to start, and then they're going to roll out other ones. But I'm not entirely sure how that works because it seemed like there was some mixed information from this one and the last one. But the big thing is the originals and the price. So let's talk about some of the original stuff that's going to be coming, because that's a huge draw and a big win for Disney Plus. Scroll down to the part of this list that tells me all of that, though. Do either of you have this up? Because this article is massive.
Yeah, no, I'm still scrolling.
All right, well, here, let's start, because they have it broken down by sections. We can scroll back up and we'll start with I think Pixar was the first thing on there. So I guess we'll take this in chunks and we'll talk about some of the stuff that is coming through like each section. It looks like for Pixar, the newest original release is Forky Asks a Question, which is a series
highly
of 10...
anticipated.
I love the description of this. It's a series of 10 shorts that will premiere with the app. Forky will go around asking some very deep questions, like what is love and what is cheese?
Oh my god, is it bad that that character was so unmemorable that I was like, who is Forky again? And then I was like, oh yeah, I saw the picture and I was like, Toy Story.
And like, that's the kind of thing.
Maybe it'll be funny though.
It seems like such a low budget thing that they can easily roll out. Like, I'm not surprised that this is a thing that's coming, and I'm probably going to watch it because it sounds ridiculously dumb, but not my most anticipated. Also with Pixar, Bo Peep will be leading a series of her own called Lamp Life, which will cover the thrilling adventures she had in the past years, bridging the gap between Toy Story 2 and 4.
So clearly Pixar is going to be using this as an advertising platform.
I think that's kind of cool, though, that they're like trying to bring her in like a like her own series. That may be interesting to see how that plays out.
I was always curious as to why they kind of cut her out of the other movies.
Yeah.
They've had this planned for so long. That's why.
There is I'm not seeing this on the list under Pixar, so I don't know if they put this anywhere else. But if you look at the photo in this article, it says all 18 Pixar films will be available, including the full library of Pixar shorts. There's a Monsters Inc. one in there that I don't remember. Was there a Monsters Inc. short that I'm forgetting?
I don't remember one.
That's definitely Mike right in there. I don't know. Anyway, so it also looks like we're getting National Geographic content, which has some newer things like The World According to Jeff Goldblum.
Well, I'm actually kind of interested in that for some stupid reason.
It's gonna be an interesting one. That was one that I saw a lot of people really excited about. But there's also a series called The Magic of the Animal Kingdom, set at Disney's Animal Kingdom and Epcot's Sea Base Aquarium. That's going to take viewers to see the backstage and see how conservationist cast members work to protect endangered species. That sounds really cool, and I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. I didn't realize that National Geographic was part of this deal.
Yeah, I didn't really either until today, and it's kind of cool because that's going to add a lot of like educational stuff in there. So moving on from that, there's Star Wars stuff that's coming as well, which should be no surprise. We knew about The Mandalorian, which is going to be a launch title for the service, which we knew, or we didn't know that going into this. And within 1 year, every Star Wars film will be available on Disney Plus. It also looks like they're adding the like expanded stuff in there too. Clone Wars series is getting reprised, and I think there was Rebels was also going to be added on there as well, which is the other animated series. So that's exciting for Star Wars fans. Something to look forward to.
You guys being Star Wars fans, did you watch either of those animated shows?
I tried.
That's a glowing recommendation right there.
See, here's the thing. Like, a lot of people that I've talked to have recommended them, and a lot of people that really like Star Wars have said that they're really good. I like Star Wars, but my problem is like I wasn't as much of a fan as of 1 through 3. So
you mean as like everybody else was?
Yeah, I was that kind of person that fell into that category, and like a lot of people have said that these are really good, even if you don't like that. But I just couldn't. It didn't stick with me. Like I feel like it probably should have.
So does that mean that you really only like the prequels?
No. I don't like the prequels. I like everything
1, 2,
outside
and 3.
Of the prequels.
Okay, I got you now.
Not that I don't like the prequels. I should rephrase that. I don't like them as much as I like the original trilogy and the newer trilogy. They're like my bottom 3, which is kind of the standard Star Wars fan explanation.
I'm not even a Star Wars fan, and I have heard nonstop like smack talk about the prequels.
But yeah, I don't know. I've heard they're good. I'm really excited for the Mandalorian show. That's going to be interesting. Oh, sorry. Another one that I missed is that there's going to be a prequel series set before Rogue One too, which is going to have some of the cast from that movie rejoin the lineup. So
that's exciting cool. Stuff. I did like Rogue One a lot, so I think it's cool that there'll be more in like obviously the same universe, but like that kind of subset of it.
So do you guys remember when Rogue One came out, like all the marketing that they did for that was like this Yeti type of creature? Do you remember? There was literally like
so long ago.
There were literally like action figures, and like it was on the packaging art of stuff. And then I think it like walked by in the background. And that's it. And I was like, what? And I was like, I wanted to see that thing. So maybe Disney, if you're listening, put it in that show and maybe I'll watch it. Because I was very intrigued by that thing, and then you never gave me anything.
Oh, I don't remember that.
It's kind of funny that they do that a lot. There will be like one, like alien creature that was in the background of the originals, and there'll be like so many toys and stuff that feature that with it. So I don't know. I guess that's just kind of their thing.
Or like Pua and Moana. Like Pua was like all over the marketing, and then in the movie for like all of 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, everyone thought he was going to be the sidekick. And it was hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't remember that, but the Pua is a really good example of that.
I think they just maybe they don't know exactly how the movie's gonna go yet, so they just pick the things that look interesting and they hope for the best. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? So next on this list of stuff is Marvel, surprising or not surprisingly, looks like we're getting the full library of movies, including Captain Marvel, as soon as the app launches. And looks like Iron Man, Avengers Endgame, Black Panther, and Ant-Man and the Wasp as well. I don't know why they specifically dropped them, because it says that it's going to include the full library, but maybe those are the launch titles. We're also seeing some original works coming as well, including Marvel 616 and the Marvel Hero Project, which will showcase some nonfiction aspects to Marvel Studios. No more was announced other than that, but they're going to be creating their own long-form series with like the same kind of quality that you would expect from Marvel movies, exploring some of the MCU fan favorites that we all kind of wanted to see expanded on. So let's dive into some of those.
Yes.
First one on this list is a series called WandaVision, which is the dumbest name that they could have picked for this.
I'm not a fan of that name.
I'm excited because this is going to be a series exploring Scarlet Witch and the Vision, and those are two very interesting characters, but man, that name is just not
It's terrible.
exciting.
Next thing you know, they're going to be putting an attraction in the park called WandaVision 3D.
Oh, that was so good. Oh man. We also got word that there's going to be a series called The Falcon and Winter Soldier, which that's going to star the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's going to be really good. I'm really excited about that. And then another series that they announced is called Marvel's What If, which is going to be an animated series that will ask some hard-hitting questions, including switching roles. Each episode will explore key moments of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and turn it on its head. One of them that I saw that isn't included in this article is that like one of the plots is what if Peggy became the super soldier instead of Steve Rogers.
Oh, cool.
So they're going to be interesting. I'm really excited about that. And the last one in this article is that Tom Hiddleston will be reprising his role in a Loki series. So we kind of knew about that before, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was announced.
Yeah, and there was another one that they didn't announce in here, but apparently there's a rumor that there's going to be a Hawkeye series as well.
Mm-hmm.
So super exciting stuff. Lots of Marvel content to binge and forget about the Netflix shows.
If for some reason anyone listening has not seen Infinity War yet, skip ahead like 15 or 30 seconds probably. Also go watch it because it's been a hot minute and you should have seen it by now. But I was just gonna say it's interesting that these announced ones are all people that got snapped.
The other thing,
Loki in Loki's case and Vision's case, they just died. But you know,
that's true. Well, so my question for some of these, like, all right, are we going into like theory and spoiler territory here?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a couple theories for who has and hasn't died, and I think Loki is definitely on that list of like gone.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
as much as it pains me.
Yeah, so I would absolutely love to see like a pre-Marvel Cinematic Universe Loki story. That would be interesting. I mean, I know All right, I don't want to spoil anything, but you've seen Captain Marvel, right, Beth?
Yes.
Have you seen it, Brian?
I have seen
Guardians.
Right.
You don't care about Marvel.
And
That's right.
I've
That's
seen
right.
Deadpool. That's as far as I've gotten into the Marvel
Okay.
Cinematic Universe.
Not that this is really spoilers or anything, but I know they did like a lot of CGI with Nick Fury for Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
So they know that they can do it. I mean, it might not be as high budget as like a series, like a film release, but I definitely think that they could pull that off. And then another thing that's interesting to me is the fact that there's a series called The Falcon and Winter Soldier, and those are both characters that assume the Captain America mantle in the comics. So my theory is that Steve is gone after this movie, which
I
contractually,
I definitely theorized that as well. I think that's unfortunately pretty much a done deal at this point.
Yeah. So that's my theory of like what these series are gonna be, is like I want the Loki one to be like a pre-MCU Loki story, and then maybe Falcon and the Winter Soldier to be like a what happens after Endgame kind of thing.
I could be into that.
But
what about WandaVision though?
That one, that is the one that I care the least about, which is crazy because I really do like those characters and I think they could potentially do something for it. But the way that they worded this seems very fan fiction-y to me, and I'm like not into that.
Yeah, I love Scarlet Witch and Vision, but I'm just like, what story do they have to tell here? I'm interested to find out for sure.
I think the cool thing that they're doing with a lot of these, or that they could do with a lot of these, is like bridge the gaps between Marvel movies with like a TV series, kind of like what they were doing with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. before I fell off of that. But I think that they could potentially do some really cool stuff with like telling the story between movies. Like maybe theirs is the story of between Age of Ultron or not Age of Ultron, Civil War and Infinity War or something along those lines. But still, that's one I'm not gonna really care about till it comes out.
Yeah.
So next up we have Disney Channel stuff. With Disney Channel celebrating its 36th anniversary and over 5,000 hours of content. The full Disney Channel original movies lineup will be available upon launch.
Oh my gosh, I'm so stoked about this.
Yeah, I figured you would be. It's also including episodes of Phineas and Ferb and a new Phineas and Ferb movie.
Now that I don't care about.
But there's also High School Musical, the series.
High School Musical, the musical, the series. I didn't even realize that until you just said it out loud.
Oh yeah.
Why?
No,
why is it just not High School Musical, the series?
Because it's got to be super meta. That's the only way. It's going to follow students from the original school play and their own versions of High School Musical. So
hang on, I'm still lost.
Yeah, that made it even worse. I don't know where to begin with that.
How far removed are we from reality in this series? is it?
And also, so original students
follows the students from the original school play in their own version of High School Musical.
Like Troy Bolton and like Gabriella, like. Are they recasting everything? Or are they going to use some of that de-aging technology? Like, what's going on?
Wait, hang on. So let me get this straight. I'm still trying to figure this out. So in this series, right, in this show that is going to be on Disney Plus, there's going to be the original characters from High School Musical are doing a musical in this series of the original High School Musical movie. Is that what I'm getting?
I think we're getting a little too meta with this.
I'm serious. Okay.
They're doing a musical about doing the musical.
I need a flow chart.
Yeah, I think that's the only way it's going to make sense is if someone gives us a flow chart of how this is going to work. Oh.
Yeah, that's wild. I'm very intrigued by the idea, but seeing as how Girl Meets World turned out, I'm not very optimistic.
Yeah. But some other interesting developments in terms of original movies and stuff coming to the platform. It looks like we're going to see a movie called Noelle, which is the story of Santa's daughter, starring Anna Kendrick. Timmy the Failure, a movie about a boy and his imaginary polar bear, and an exclusive documentary, The Imagineering Story, which will also premiere on the streaming service. I mean, I know we're excited about the Imagineering one.
How do the other
yes, for sure. I'm conflicted about Noelle because I love Anna Kendrick, but that sounds like a movie I don't care about.
Yeah. There's like a select few Christmas movies that I can stand, and yeah, I don't feel like I'm gonna be a big fan of this one.
Yeah,
I'll give it a chance though.
I agree with that. I don't like. I'm gonna probably give it a chance because it's Disney Plus. It's Disney. I have to. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. Looking at this last picture though, I scrolled all the way down to this part in the article, and apparently there's Monsters at Work on here, which I'm assuming that might be the Monsters Inc. thing that was up top. So guess that's a Monsters Inc. series. And then there's a thing called Into the Unknown, the making of Frozen 2, which that's kind of cool. I'd be into like more behind the scenes Disney stuff on this platform. That would be a neat thing to check out.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Before we get too far away from the Disney Channel section, did you guys watch a bunch of DComs when you were growing up? Or no?
I watched a handful.
Am I the only one?
Yeah, not very much.
Do you have a favorite though?
It's
a big personality question here.
Is it really? Because it's been so long since I've seen them that like I don't even know where to begin.
Wow.
The only ones that I remember a few of them. Like I remember parts of The Luck of the Irish for some reason.
Yeah.
I remember Monster House mostly because the idea of that freaked me out for the longest time.
Are you talking about Smart House?
Yeah, Smart House, not Monster House. Monster House is that cartoon movie. Yeah, Smart House. That's the one that freaked me out.
Legit have Smart House on DVD, not gonna lie.
Did you really?
I do.
We have Halloween Town on DVD. I think that counts, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. That is #1 best DCOM for sure.
And then I also remember Xenon. I don't know why I remember Xenon.
That is #2 best DCOM ever.
I've seen
I've seen like pretty much every Disney Channel original movie up until like they started sucking.
So you mean you didn't see The Descendants?
And I've even seen a couple after they started sucking, but only a couple. But no, I did not see Descendants.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one. I saw the commercials for that, and I was like, "That's enough."
Actually did not see the commercials, but I was staying with a friend this summer. The Teen Beach movie came out, and I wanted to break their TV. Because she like wanted to watch it over, or her daughter, not my friend, wanted to watch it over and over and over.
Oh goodness, that sounds like a nightmare.
Yes. Anyway.
So 20th Century Fox. I guess we can move on to them now. But since Disney has acquired Fox, it looks like we're going to be getting some of their stuff, which includes The Sound of Music, Princess Bride, and other classics. Which in this picture, I see Horton Hears a Who, Malcolm in the Middle is in here, and Garfield. The Garfield movie is on here as well. So those are things that I probably won't really watch on Disney Plus. But the big thing is that because of the merger, Disney has also acquired the streaming rights to The Simpsons, which means that all 30 seasons of The Simpsons will be on Disney Plus. I think that was the biggest shocker of all of this news.
Yeah, well, because also, and the only reason I know this is because I kind of started rewatching it recently, but as far as I know, the only place to watch it, legally online right now is through FX Now, and then they have their own like sub website within that, which is The Simpsons World. And it was always super frustrating trying to watch this because of how bad and jumpy the stream always was, and how they try to integrate ads into it. So I'm kind of excited that this is coming to Disney Plus, because I think it'll be a much better platform to watch it on.
Yeah, for sure. I think that they're definitely going to have an easier time integrating this over to their streaming service than like FX Now or whatever it is has.
Yeah.
But the thing that's really funny about this to me is like how many times has The Simpsons made jabs at Disney?
Oh,
and now
yeah.
Disney owns them.
I do love like these just little couple of promotional pictures they put out are pretty funny. Like I love how they have the balloons with the fox on it that they've put duct tape over and everything.
Over it.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, that was the best way they could have done this announcement. But some other interesting details about the service itself. It looks like all of the content will be downloadable and accessible online as long as you're a subscriber, which means that you're going to be able to access it on your mobile phones, tablets, smart TVs, pretty much anywhere as long as you download the actual thing. I think that's pretty standard for streaming services now, so that's kind of cool that they're staying up to date before coming out. And it looks like they're also going to partner with Roku TV and PlayStation 4 with more partnerships to come. It looks like the picture that they put in here, it's got like a Nintendo Switch and Xbox and all that other stuff on there. So they're planning to come out with everything, or with apps for everything. But you'll definitely be able to watch it on your PlayStation or your Roku TV. And then another standard thing is that you're going to be able to customize your profiles. So everyone's going to be able to set their name with a Disney icon, and parental controls will be able to be added as well. But the biggest news of all is that Disney Plus will launch on November 12th, 2019, with a month-to-month subscription costing $6.99 a month, or an annual subscription for $69.99, which actually works out to be cheaper than the month-to-month cost. So that's
I think it's a pretty good price for what you're getting. One thing I was surprised at too is, I mean, I know we kind of knew it was coming, but how much, original content is going to be there at launch. Even looking at like Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime, I felt like it took a while for them to actually start coming out with their own original content. So I'm kind of glad that Disney's got stuff there from the get-go.
Yeah, and that's the really exciting thing is like they are rolling out with a lot of new original content, and it's a fairly cheap price. Like I wonder how much that's going to hurt other streaming services. Like, do you think Netflix will go down a little bit farther because of this? Or
I don't really think it's going to affect them that much. I feel like this is going to be more of people are going to treat it as like an add-on, that they're not going to say, well, I've got Disney Plus now, I'm going to drop Netflix, which, I'm okay with. I know a lot of people were kind of upset about Disney doing this because they were like, oh, well, now everybody's going to come out with their own standalone thing, and then there's not going to be a collective one like Netflix anymore. But I don't think that's true. For this low of a price, too, I don't think it's that big a deal. I'm definitely planning on getting it, and I don't know. For as much content as it's bringing for this low of a price, I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people were making out to be.
Yeah, I think given the choice, this would probably be like, with all the stuff that's on there, it's so new that I would probably drop Netflix over this. But I don't think it's a bad thing, especially if they're keeping them at a lower cost, because then you can kind of build your own package for what you watch. And you're not really paying for like, a lot of, like, the whole thing now is mostly people trying to cut the cord, right? That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to pay for cable anymore. So like, by paying $6-7 a month for Disney Plus, and then paying for HBO Go or whatever, you can really decide the channels that you do watch versus paying a mass amount for a big like cable package.
Right. And I mean, that's the thing, because I've been a cable cutter for 3 years now. And yeah, it's crazy. I could, I'm obviously adding this on. I do Netflix, Hulu, HBO, Go, and obviously this, and it's like I'll have all 4 of these streaming services at still a significantly lower cost than cable cost for basic cable. So yeah, still a no-brainer for me there.
Yeah, I think that I 100% agree with that. And to kind of wrap up this discussion, it looks like, from what I've heard, Disney Plus is not going to have ads, so it'll be more in tune with like a Netflix subscription versus a Hulu subscription.
Great, because that is one thing that really irks me about Hulu.
Yeah, and for that price, like it's comparable to I think the low ad version of Hulu, which should be around the same cost.
Mm-hmm. And it's about half the price as HBO Go.
Really?
Yes. But I can't. I gotta watch Game of Thrones, so.
Yeah, definitely can't miss out on that. So it's kind of cool that they're planning on doing it that way, and then you'll also be able to add it into your Hulu subscription, which I'd imagine they're probably going to do a similar thing like they're doing with the 3 of their streaming platforms, and it'll be at a reduced rate. So
I'm curious to see how many people sign up for the package.
I feel like if it's a substantial enough discount, like it's going to be a no-brainer to get Hulu with Disney Plus, especially if you're a Hulu subscriber already. But I don't know. I guess we'll have to see when the service launches. Yeah. So real quick before we dive into the rest of the last 20 minutes of our show, we have to do some housekeeping, kind of. I screwed up. And it is now 2 weeks into March or April. We're 2 weeks removed from March, and we have yet to announce the winner of our March Magic bracket. Last week we tried to do it, but all 3 of us were not recording the call, and I had stopped recording the Hangouts call. So we picked our winner for the March Magic bracket last week, and our winner is Nick Ashman, who we will be contacting about the $25 Disney gift card that we were offering off for the raffle. And Brian added in a sweet additional prize in there too, if you want to talk about that for a second.
Yeah, so we'll let you pick between either a Haunted Mansion or a Splash Mountain Pop Vinyl, and we'll throw that in there with it.
Nice. So now that everybody's back here, let's do some superlatives to wrap this episode up, since we've gone about 40 minutes now. While back, someone suggested that we do some music superlatives. I gotta pull that up now. Unless I deleted that by accident. Nope. Yeah, well, someone suggested it. So
thanks, someone.
I'm gonna leave it at that. No, but we did have the suggestion of doing music superlatives. So we kind of threw a couple of those together to discuss some Disney music. I put a lot of park stuff in here, so I guess that's how we ended up. Looks like there's one non-park related one in there. But let's go through these. It looks like first one we have is best area loop in Walt Disney World.
This is an easy one for me. I'm going with Adventureland.
Really?
Yes.
I love Tomorrowland's loop. That's my favorite.
I do too.
Oh, I'm so glad someone else loves it.
But I also love, like, I can't remember exactly where in Animal Kingdom, but you probably know what I'm talking about. It's like I don't even know how to, like, describe it, but there's one in Animal Kingdom. I think it maybe is at the entrance, but that's a good one too.
Honorable mention here. I love Epcot's area loop, like the entrance to Epcot. That one's really good because it gets you like all of the major songs for the attractions. But I definitely think Tomorrowland is my biggest best pick for that one.
Yeah, I would agree.
So, best song in an attraction. Nobody?
So this is a hard one.
I would have
thought... It is a hard one, but I'm going to say, and this might be not the most popular opinion, but I'm going to say I Put a Spell on You.
Ooh.
Interesting choice, because it is technically in the stage show, so
yes,
isn't an attraction. I contrary to where everyone's probably thinking I'm going to go, I'm going to pick Soarin' because I love the soundtrack to Soarin'.
That's good. I mean, as much as I dislike the attraction, you're right. This soundtrack's very good.
That's like the best point of that.
Actually, I take it back. I can't believe I didn't say this before. Fantasmic.
That's where I was like, there's two on here. I was like, Beth is going to pick Fantasmic for both of those.
Well, those are my two favorite stage shows, so that's where my brain went. But Fantasmic for sure, number one. I listen to that in my car, like, randomly.
I'm gonna go with Yoho, A Pirate's Life for me.
Nice.
I was thinking someone was either going to do that one or Grim Grinning Ghosts. So
it's a good one too.
I'm surprised that none of us took that one. The next one is biggest Walt Disney World earworm. So song that gets stuck in your head.
Ooh, I have two for this one.
I gotta go with Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow.
That was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I literally, if I just think about that song, it gets stuck in my head.
Yep.
I was gonna go with either that or the more recent edition of Great Moments in History.
Oh, that's a really good one.
That's a good one.
The other one that always gets stuck in my head is One Little Spark.
Oh yeah.
That one always gets stuck in my head. Even if we just walk by the building, it's like I leave and I'm humming it. I'm like, no, go away. So best nighttime spectacular soundtrack.
Well, Fantasmic.
I knew you were going there. All right. I'm gonna go with Illuminations. I know it's going away, and maybe that's why I'm feeling a little nostalgic about it. But I really do like that soundtrack, and I think that as everyone's getting upset about the Illuminations ending business, just remember that the major line of that song is "We Go On." So,
yeah, I think I'd have to do. If we're only talking current ones, I'd have to go with Illuminations too.
If we were doing past ones, would you go Wishes, or is there another one you'd pick?
I would go either Wishes or Main Street Electrical Parade.
Oh, if that was still around, that would be my biggest earworm too. I hear one note of that, and I'm like, nope, here we go.
It's like,
but the worst part is that you can't really sing along to
it. But
Yeah,
it's like
true.
that like, just kind of like kitschy electronic music is just, as soon as I hear it, it immediately reminds me of being a kid and watching the parade. So
what's the name of the song?
I don't even know.
I think it's called Main Street Electrical Parade.
No, it has like a real name. It's called like Baroque something.
Oh, it's oh my gosh, I gotta look it up now because I know exactly what you're talking about.
Hoedown, Baroque Hoedown.
That's really
accurate.
It has a name for everyone who didn't know.
So, I don't know if you guys had this experience with this, but every time I think about Main Street Electrical Parade and that song, I think about how it would always start and get really loud like 5 minutes before the parade actually hit.
Oh, yeah, that's how you draw a crowd in, man.
Well, I mean, like, at least Festival of Fantasy kind of comes with the floats, but I remember sitting on Main Street and hearing the music, and everybody's like, where's that coming from? So as we move on to our more musical or movie-centric soundtrack questions, we have Best Duet.
I put this one in there, but I don't really have a solid answer decided when I put it in.
I'm struggling to think of one.
I can think of a bunch, but they're not worthy.
I would say A Whole New World.
That's a good one for sure.
That's a good one. I would also say I See the Light from Tangled. Yeah,
that's probably my favorite romantic duet song. I guess you could also say if you guys want to think more about it, you could say best multiple group song could count too.
Oh gosh, no, because that's getting way bigger. There's a lot more of those. If you're counting more than one voice.
Oh yeah, I have one for that one. Then if we're gonna do that.
Oh boy, what's your one for that one then?
Zero to Hero.
Oh, absolutely. Oh my gosh, I want to sing it now that I'm thinking about it.
I just have to say, when we were on the cruise and one of the stage shows that they did was kind of like a mashup of different Disney songs, they had this in there, and the girl that was singing the main part was absolutely incredible. So, like, definitely did the song justice, like the original recording was. So
nice.
Very cool to see.
That's awesome. Brian, do you hit those high notes when you
Oh
sing
yeah,
along?
you know, yeah. That's
Brian
the one I got to
belts
make sure
along.
the car windows are rolled up when it
get
comes
your
on.
Muse sass going.
Yeah, I cannot sing like that, unfortunately.
That'd be pretty interesting if you could, though.
Yeah, it would.
I think I'm gonna have to agree with Mario, though. I See the Light.
I think if we're going like multiple voices, though, anything from the Hercules soundtrack, but that's total bias.
I like also if we're going multiple voices, then I really like Dig a Little Deeper from Princess and the Frog.
Yeah, Princess and the Frog has a couple good ones too.
I mean, all the songs from Princess and the Frog are good, so.
Yeah, but a lot of them are also sung with multiple voices.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
They fit in that mold. Yeah, so I guess the last one is best Disney villain song.
Friends on the Other Side.
Continuing with the theme.
Yeah, fitting that Princess and the Frog mold. Oh, someone just changed one in here. This changes a lot of things. Man, I don't know. Be Prepared, probably.
Ooh, that was mine. Yep. I don't know if I like it that much or just I watched that movie so many times as a kid that it is like so ingrained in me.
Yeah, that is a good one.
So I guess we'll do that one that someone changed in here because that definitely changes a lot. What is your worst song in an attraction?
One Little Spark.
Really?
With that. Okay, and look, I've spoken that I do not like Journey to Imagination. But I was on there. The last time I went on there was probably 2-3 years ago, and we got stuck.
Oh no!
Right as One Little Spark came on, and it was on. We were stuck for. It was a good like 20 minutes. We were stuck too, and that was on loop, and it has ruined it for me.
And you have that creepy moon face in there.
Oh,
I don't know.
Don't do drugs, kids.
I have some attachments to that ride, so I can't even say that that's the worst song. Does the It's Tough to Be a Bug song count? Because that one's pretty bad.
Wait, there's a song in there?
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember the song.
That's how good it is.
The first line, and let me see if I can find this song, because if I'm... I gotta remember if this is actually like in our version of it, because I haven't done this in a while, but there's like a Walt Disney World collection of music stuff on Spotify, and I have a playlist of that and some other songs. And there's this song in here called "We're Pollinators."
Oh yeah, I found it. Yep. Okay.
And this YouTube post says that it's a Disneyland song, but I can't imagine that they're much different.
I'm gonna, for mine, make everyone hate me. I'm sorry. I can't stand It's a Small World.
No, that's understandable for sure.
Yeah, I can't fault you for that.
I mean, when you have to listen to a song for like 20 minutes multiple times in your life, it just becomes too much.
I don't think that it's even so much the song's fault. It's like it's almost that it was too successful that it became such like a meme and played out everywhere, you know, so that it's weird because I don't know. I feel like if you go back in time and listen to that, it's not as annoying as it seems today. So
yeah, and that's a good point. Is that like it really isn't that bad, but it's just overplayed.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't dislike it as much if I hadn't had to hear it so much. I gotta ask, do you guys have a song outside of the parks that you think is the worst?
Like Disney movie songs?
Yeah, like any Disney related song.
The Yodel song from Home on the Range.
Oh my god, that's literally what I was gonna say. I was like, my jaw dropped when that part came on. I was like, I can't believe this made it past the cutting room floor.
I would say Pink Elephants on Parade.
Really? That's
yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just because the movie so creepy at that part, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of that one.
Oh yeah, that haunts me, that scene. Somebody posted it the other day on some social media, and I was like, I can't even watch this. It creeps me out. They were drinking, air quotes.
Oh, I have one for worst song in an attraction that I can definitely for sure say was in Walt Disney World. All of Under New Management soundtrack. And that's going to be the end of this podcast. Good night, everyone. That one, like, okay, I have to talk about that for a minute because that's definitely music related. But, like, I don't think I would have been as mad about, like, a Tiki Room retheming if it wasn't just, like, them singing songs that were popular, like, that decade or the decade before. Like,
that's what gets me is that you took two characters that weren't even like new characters at the time that were one. It's weird because you take like a villain character and then a good guy character and throw them in there and they're supposed to be interacting. Okay, it was just a mess.
Yeah, what songs were even in there? Let's see. It's all right. Wikipedia, come on, load. All right, apparently Wikipedia doesn't want to load, but all right, what songs were actually in there? Come on now. There we go. Okay, I think I found it. Nope, never mind. There it goes. Apparently the internet can't even tell me what songs were in there. They were so unmemorable.
I gotta say, it's a big bummer to me though how like was featured in that though, because I like really enjoy that part.
If for anything, I'm happy that we got this attraction because we got the animatronic.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But other than that, hard pass.
Oh man, just reading some of the parts in this Wikipedia article are just reminding me of how cringy it was.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I just remember that Hot 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 was in there, and that's the only thing that I can remember.
This is great. Yeah, Iago, what is this? Began singing a song to the tune of "Friend Like Me" from Aladdin. He said that since the Tiki Birds were ancient history, and he was a big celebrity.
That's not even a good pun.
You know what? It's okay. They made it right. They put the original back in place. Everything's okay with the world.
The Tiki goddesses, or gods and goddesses, were pleased when they set Iago on fire.
Yeah, maybe that's the solution. When we hate an attraction, we just set part of it on fire. Because it never came back after that.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about
someone
that,
probably did that on purpose.
well, I mean, the funny thing about that is only the animatronics that would have caused them to not bring the original Tiki Room back were the ones that were hurt.
Yeah,
So,
it's a big coincidence there.
see what you did, Disney. But anyway, I am good to wrap this week up if you guys are, unless you have any last minute superlatives you want to throw in there.
I have one that might be tough, so if you guys don't have a good answer or don't want to answer it, we can just cut it before. But I was thinking about like guilty pleasure songs.
Disney
Do you guys
guilty
have any?
pleasure or park guilty pleasure?
Either.
Oh. Because One Little Spark is
I
definitely my park guilty pleasure.
I'm not. Oh gosh. Okay. It's not even like a guilty pleasure because of the song like itself. I'm just gonna say when I'm alone in the car, I sing this. You know. I don't care.
No! I can't wait.
The suspense is killing me.
And it's part of your world. I love that song so much. So.
But did you do the thing when you were a kid and you like stood on this, or you like went up on the edge of the pool?
No, I didn't go that far, but it's,
okay, well, I did. So I feel you. That's a good one.
Do you have a guilty pleasure, Beth?
The entire Country Bear Jamboree soundtrack.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't think that's a guilty pleasure because like we're all pretty well. You're all pretty open about how much you love Country Bears.
Yeah, but every time I talk about Country Bears, I'm like, I love it because it's so bad. But I genuinely enjoy it. So I wonder if I'm just telling myself that at this point. Also, Lemonade Mouth. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. It's Disney Channel original movies that came after they started sucking, but that's like one of the few good ones in my opinion, and I really like the soundtrack of that.
I don't know if I have
One
like
Little Spark is your only one.
That's the only one I can think of. Like I'm looking through a list of like Disney movie songs, and like I don't know. I don't feel like there's one that I'm like guilty about. Like I don't feel bad about most of these songs.
Yeah. Well, that's good. You should be proud of the things you love.
I guess. Plus, I feel like most of the Disney songs, even like, I don't know, I guess your Country Bears one kind of counts, but like, even Brian saying Part of Your World, that doesn't like surprise me that bad. Not because like I expected that from you, but like, I feel like everybody loves Disney classic songs. I just didn't expect you to be like belting it in the car.
Yeah, that mental image is pretty awesome.
Here's another one. What do you think, which movie do you think has the best overall soundtrack?
I mean, I'm biased, so I think you guys probably know my answer.
Princess and the Frog?
Yeah. It's got all kinds of music. It's got jazz and zydeco. And like, I don't know. I just think the music's really good. It's really soulful.
It definitely is good. This is a hard one for me. I mean, my go-to would be to say Hercules. But more
that's my go-to.
More recently, though, I was very impressed with the Moana soundtrack.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one too.
Oh,
and you know what? As far as villain songs go, Shiny is really good too.
That is a really good one. I don't know. I think I kind of have to agree. Moana was really good.
Oh, I also really like the Coco soundtrack.
Yeah, Coco was good. Andy has an obsession with Coco, so I think it's a little overplayed in my mind. But Yeah. Are there any other ones you can think of? Because I'm going to just keep thinking of them if that ends up being the case.
I mean, nah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
Well,
good.
I think I'm good too.
Cool.
I'm going to stop recording the actual call.